In the film 2040, we kind of explored a little bit about the impact that the economy and our resource use is having on climate change, but didn't go into too much depth. And really, this is one of the most important issues we need to address.
Currently, we're consuming around 90 billion metric tonnes of resources every year.
That includes minerals and metals, fish, livestock, logging, and a sustainable level of consumption is around 50 billion metric tonnes of materials every year. So we've already crossed that line. That happened in the year 2000. And at our current growth rates, we're projected to consume about 180 billion metric tonnes of resources by 2050. So, in a sense, we're already borrowing or taking resources from the future to satisfy our needs right now.
We're stealing the future, selling it in the present, and proudly calling it GDP.
Now, we did have a scene in the film that explained to my daughter how we got to this position of having such a rapacious appetite for growth. This is a scene I actually filmed in a hotel room in Tanzania. I just wanted to give you another explanation as to why we took so long to act on the environment. And I think a major reason has been our current economic system. In the late 1970s and early 80s, this theory emerged that said there should be less government involved in the markets, that we should privatise services and that corporations should be given more power. And if we did this, we would see unprecedented growth and wealth, and that this wealth would start at the top and trickle down to benefit all of society. Well, the results are now in. And over the past 2 decades, just 5% of this wealth has made it to the bottom 60%. And 95% of this wealth has stayed in the top 40%. So what started out as a trickle kind of turns into a mist about here. And what this means is there are now 4.5 billion people living on less than $5 a day. Now, how this impacts the environment is that it's given enormous political power to corporations at the top. And in order to keep this growth narrative alive, a lot of environmental regulations have simply been removed. So not only are people suffering, but so is the planet.
According to the World Economic Association, at our current rate of trickle-down, it will take more than 207 years to get those 4.5 billion people above $5 a day. But the economy would also have to grow 175 times its present size.
Now, while there are some corporations that are doing terrific things, there are some rules of the economic game that really favour them. That includes some of the trade treaties. And these are things that are often not talked about in the media. A lot of the decisions made are away from the public, and these are affecting the flow of resources around the world. One in particular is called an ISDS clause, and this allows corporations to sue governments for affecting their ability to make profit. Now, I'm all for making profit, but when that profit overrides the democratic process, then I certainly think we need to address it.
In 2009, a large energy company planned to build a coal power plant on the banks of the Elbe River in Germany. When the government's environmental authority imposed restrictions on the company for their damaging wastewater, the company sued the government for $1.4 billion in loss of profit. The government backed down and the environmental protections were removed.
There is absolute value to free enterprise, to creativity, to flexibility. There's got to be within the bounds determined by society.